Sarah Walid Elshowaya. I'm an Australian Sudanese 15-year-old from Brisbane. I'm originally from Sydney as I grew up there for the first 11 years of my life. In Sydney, I attended several rallies and protests discussing the issues that Sudan had faced with, which have still continued to occur till this day. When moving to Brisbane, I persisted in making an appearance to these protests and events with the Sudanese community. I have participated in these events by being a speaker at a rally in Brisbane City, discussing the crisis Sudan had with no help from foreign countries. To add, I also participated in an event where I was the MC that introduced speakers and communicated with the audience at certain times of the event. The event was produced by the Greens Party with the purpose to allow speakers to discuss and share their stories about what's happening in their home countries, including Eritrea, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, as well as Sudan. This also correlates back to the Black Lives Matter movement that became prominent in 2020 following the death of George Floyd, where I attended protests and shared issues on social media regarding the continuous injustice towards Black people. As of Sudan, I know that in the second year of Sudan's democratic transition, it was damaged by political instability that slowed the pace of rights and rule of law reforms, and a dire economic situation that compounded public discontent. The government failed to implement key institutional and law reform stipulated in the August 2019 Constitutional Charter, including the establishment of a transitional legislative council and commissions with mandates to address peace, transitional justice, and corruption. On May 29, 2021, Sudan's military leaders announced that they were lifting a state of emergency prior to 7 months that has been used as a cover for a relentless attack on the country's tenacious protest movement and to further enrich impunity for the security force crimes. Authorities had also released at least 100 prisoners who were held in connection to the protests that were unlawfully arrested. While these are positive steps, ongoing repression in Sudan military's leaders' long history of deflecting criticism requires scrutiny and pressure for real change to increase, not lessen. 98 people have been killed during the protests since October 21's coup. Security forces have beaten and otherwise ill-treated detained prisoners / protesters, including stripping child naked and threatening sexual violence among women. Hundreds have been unlawfully detained and some forcibly disappeared since the coup, notably by the police and the General Investigation Service, which is also known as GIS. No one has been held accountable for these crimes, and the repression shows no sign of abating. By forging shared understandings around these issues, it can help chart the way out of the crisis and address the institutional vacuum after the coup to help rebuild Sudan as a whole. This information that I shared is what I know of, though there are unsaid deeper issues that had occurred or still continue to. In 10 years, I would expect myself to have finished my Doctor of Medicine degree in university by completing my residency. I plan on becoming an emergency physician that works in the emergency department in a hospital. This could then contribute to me offering medical aid in those in need and helping those in emergency situations. I wish for older generations to help organize clinics in the country to offer medical assistance that me and other individuals with medical knowledge to support protesters. Another idea is help create a van that roams streets to find wounded or people with sicknesses and hand out medical tools or medication. Sudan has many factors in where it can be said that it doesn't have a clean environment. Foods are made on the ground, foods are being sold on dirt where sun and flies are reachable to them. Recently, Sudan agonized from severe floods that damaged large areas of land and infected many people with diseases that the floods produce, for example, malaria, and it lacks to produce clean, drinkable water. And it could help with using maybe sustainable items or using renewable energy in a way to produce electricity, as electricity is a big thing in Sudan where it does cut out frequently. And yeah, I guess that's all I have got to say. Thank you.